The 805 Focus is brought to you in part by Nonprofit Connect. Nonprofit Connect provides superior leadership tools and resources so nonprofit leaders and board members can make valuable decisions to move their organization forward to a sustainable and vibrant future. More information on services online at nonprofitconnect.org.
Welcome to 805 Focus. I'm Dr. Cinder Sinclair with Nonprofit Connect, and we will be bringing you the latest on your favorite nonprofits, so get ready to be inspired. Our special guest today is Stacy Adida-Mangate, and Stacy is the Executive Director of the Wildling Museum of Art and Nature. Welcome, Stacy.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me here.
Oh, I'm so glad you're here because I have been reading about and hearing about all the great things happening at the Wildling. That's what people call it, right? They don't say the big long name, they say the Wildling.
It's the shorthand.
Yeah, everybody knows what that means. So why don't you just tell us a little bit about what you're up to these days?
Sure. I might start with the past.
That's okay.
We were actually founded in '97 by Patty Jackamane, an artist, right here in Santa Barbara. And she just loves nature and art, and so she just felt a museum that did both of those would be really great for the community and inspire people to care about nature. So she and a cohort decided to pull together. They founded us, and we started out in Los Olivos and opened our doors in 2000.
Okay.
And we've been doing all kinds of exhibitions and programs ever since.
And when I went on your website, I love this little saying you have that you want people to appreciate nature through the lens of artists. What a wonderful idea.
Yes, I think Patty really hit it on the head with that, and I'm sure artists already kind of intuitively know it, but it's really easy to get disconnected from nature. We're all busy, we're living our lives, we're doing our jobs, we're sitting in front of screens way too much.
Yeah.
And you kind of forget sometimes about the beautiful outside, although here we're very lucky in our region, of course. But there is something about a gorgeous piece of art that represents nature that can kind of like make you go, oh yeah, wow. And then maybe you take it to the next level after that experience, right? And maybe you go out in nature, or maybe you join a conservation organization.
Yeah. So you have the museum with beautiful exhibits, but then I think you also go out and do education. Do you go out in the community, or do people come to you for education?
Yeah, mostly people come to us. We're a tiny team. We only have 3 full-time staff people.
Okay.
And 2 other part-timers. So, we're a little thin on the human resource aspect. But yeah, we do all kinds of different programming over the years. We've had art workshops. We've had kids art programming. We do school tours as schools, desire them. And we started doing some film projects periodically, so that's kind of a new exciting thing that we're pursuing.
Wow. So tell us about the film project.
Yeah, it's very exciting to me because it's a way for us to really pull together kind of both the art, the science, and the beauty of nature and put it in a package that we can enjoy outside of the museum at any time. So whether it's a DVD or a film screening off-site or a film screening on-site, and then down the road, we can sell them in our store too. But it's really a great way to just get our mission out there much broader than we can just, within our own 4 walls.
That's a great idea. Now, was that as a result of the COVID challenges, or did you just always want to do that?
We started before that. We had connected with Jeff McLaughlin, who's a wonderful local filmmaker, and he did a documentary about condors that we had screened. Which was great, not for us, but just on his own. But that connection was kind of made, and I think the first one we did with him was for an exhibition, and it was all about Ray Strong and the Oak Group, because we had this incredible exhibition about Ray Strong. And sometimes we like to have that other kind of medium in an exhibition, because people learn in different ways, they get attracted to different things. And it kind of turned into a documentary.
Oh gosh.
Which right before COVID, we were able to actually screen at the Santa Barbara International Film Festival. And I can't tell you, that really solidified the bug of it all for me, because there we were sitting at the Arlington, and there was something like 2,000 people watching this. Yeah, and he had done a great job. So we're just very proud of Jeff's work, and so we worked with him on the Carrizo Plains, which is one of those stories that not a lot of folks know about or haven't made the effort to drive up to Carrizo Plain yet. So it's just really exciting to be able to kind of open up that story of artists and nature and put it out in a whole new format for us.
So are you going to do more films?
We are. We actually did a short one just this past 6 months or so, and it's about 10 minutes, and it's all about valley oak trees, meaning Quercus lobata, so a very specific kind of oak tree, and it's the one that's iconic throughout our area and actually a little beyond our area. It's the big, wonderful oak trees with all those gnarled, curled branches, and they lose their leaves in the winter, so they're kind of easy to identify, and they're just amazing. And we have a mural in the museum on the second floor, and it's that's what it is. It's that oak tree, and it's a whole habitat of creatures around it, because to us it represents a whole ecosystem. And how important is that? So John Iwerks did that for us. We commissioned that, but we wanted, again, you know, like a different kind of approach to teaching people about why these trees are amazing and why they're so important locally to us. So we created a short one. And now we want to make it a full-length documentary. So we're kind of right now at the stage of trying to figure out what that budget would be to expand it and turn it into, you know, maybe a 45-minute documentary.
That is a really great idea, to sort of expand your reach.
Exactly, and it's a great investment because it also lasts so long and can be shown in different formats and be seen hopefully by lots of people. I mean, someday I had this dream that, you know, PBS local in California would show one of our documentaries. That would be amazing.
Yeah. So I would imagine that you folks collaborate a lot there. Maybe you want to talk about collaboration a bit.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. It's actually, collaboration is built into our vision statement for our organization. We went through that process in 2012, and it's something that everybody really wanted to see happen, and we absolutely embrace. I mean, we're small, but if we can partner up with others, then it's just better for the community, but also all the different organizations. So lots of times, some of our exhibitions will involve other partners. So several years ago, we did one on wild horses called Wild Spirit, but we partnered with Return to Freedom, who has a wild horse sanctuary. So they were able to bring, you know, different kinds of information and resources to the table, and then we were able to give them some visibility for the great work that they do.
That's great.
Yeah. And then COVID, hits.
Let's talk about that.
Yeah, because talk about collaboration. It really brought all of us museum directors in the area together, because we were all, I'm not going to say floundering, but kind of, because it was a whole new world. It was changing every week. Sometimes it felt like every day. And we're all like, what's happening? What do we do? What are you doing? What about this grant? What about this loan? What's, you know, what do we do? So we started having weekly video calls. Yeah, and that was super helpful, and it was also quite a morale booster. So it was so wonderful to get to really know each other in all of our different kinds of institutions. And then from that came an idea for a collaborative project, which is coming to fruition this summer.
Oh, nice. So you definitely made some lemonade out of those lemons.
We did. We absolutely did. And everybody, it's just neat what they can contribute, because we all have either different skill sets or different missions slightly, but we're all just so supportive of each other individually, and then each other organizations as well. It's great.
Yeah. So supporting each other, learning from each other.
Absolutely.
How many museums would you say are part of this collaboration?
Well, that's a good question. I don't know the full count, but we're probably about 20. And then recently our video calls have expanded to be more Central Coast. So there's now some Ventura and I think San Luis Obispo County organizations that also are getting involved in terms of helping each other and keeping each other informed. But I do want to mention that a specific project that came out of the recent Zoom calls was that we decided to focus on climate change this year. which is something that has, I think, become a fact that no one can ignore, and we're experiencing, effects right around us, never mind seeing news about things around the world. So in the end, 13 Santa Barbara County institutions came together to create kind of the Santa Barbara County Environmental Alliance of Museums. And so this year we're going to focus on climate change, and we're calling that effort Impact, the urgency, or the climate change and the urgency of now.
Oh.
So we'll all be doing different kinds of exhibitions and programs to help people to focus on that, give people hope, give people ideas for, what can we do as individuals or communities to, hopefully make a positive impact on, a serious issue.
That is a wonderful outcome, really, from a pretty big challenge.
Yes, yes. It's exciting to be able to pull together, make something concrete really happen for the community. And then the hope is maybe we do something every couple of years together. So we'll see where that goes.
That is wonderful. I've heard so many great stories of nonprofits pivoting, that's a new word, right? In the midst of these challenges from the virus. And so, yeah, so good for you.
Yeah, thank you. On behalf of all of us.
Yeah.
And speaking of pivoting, and other things with COVID, some of the good things is, we had to learn about Zoom. We had to learn how to record lectures, how to share them. But for us at the Wildling, we got really busy with that right away. And we had a good time, actually. It was a little bit of a challenge. My assistant director, Lauren Sharp, had to really rally, and she did amazingly, and we just made stuff happen. So it was kind of fun. Like, I actually kind of enjoy that part of pivoting is kind of fun.
Yeah, well, good for you. And so now you've got some talents that you didn't have before.
Yes.
Or people with talents or know-how.
Yep, exactly. New equipment in some cases, that we had to buy. We have iPads now because you can film with iPads. And we have our own YouTube channel where a lot of our stuff goes, so that can always be checked out. Yeah.
You guys are making it happen. So here you have a small staff, but I would imagine you use volunteers too.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. We generally have about 30, 35 total who help in different ways, whether it's, with visitor services, with the store, with events, although of course we haven't had many events of late, thanks to COVID, but that'll be, changing very shortly. And so we don't know what we would do without our volunteers, for sure. And with COVID, some people have had to move on to other things, and so we have lost, a few here and there. So we're about to really recruit for some new volunteers. So we're always looking for fresh blood to get involved, and whether it's interacting with our visitors and showing them around our exhibitions, or helping our store person, or again, events, or moving walls when we have exhibitions, that kind of thing. Yeah, we're always looking for some new folks.
So always something for somebody to help with.
Yes, and lots of different ways too. And some of it's, more of a commitment with a routine, and other stuff is as kind of needed.
And so let's just say somebody's watching this and they say, gosh, I think I'd like to be a volunteer, but I don't know that much about art, or do you train them?
Oh, absolutely, yes. Yeah, and we're actually looking to really develop a strong docent program with lots of broad education, but we've mostly in the past focused on each exhibition. So, there's always an introductory period where you get training on, let's say it's Ray Strong or Ansel Adams, or any of the number of different kinds of artists and topics that we've covered.
That's good. So that makes me feel more comfortable about signing up. If I know you're going to train me, I don't have to know all the answers.
Oh, absolutely not. Absolutely not. If you're a people person, that's kind of, let's just start there. If you enjoy people, then you're going to have a good time.
So now you mentioned the store. Tell me about your store.
Yeah, we have, I think almost every museum, we have a really fun gift shop with the merchandise that really relates to our mission. So whether it's art-based or nature-based, there's a lot of fun ways that you can take that, and a lot of times we work with local artists as well, local jewelers. It's really fun to have handcrafted local things in our gift shop, so that is definitely a large component of what we have in our gift shop. And of course, the proceeds help support us and being able to do
Yeah.
all the different things that we do.
That is great. So, if somebody, once again, is watching this and they have somebody's birthday coming up, or maybe the holidays are going to be coming up, or Valentine, you never know.
Yeah.
Then they could go to your store, to your shop, and buy a probably very unique gift for their person.
Yeah, absolutely. And because of COVID, here's another good outcome of a bad thing. We also have an online store, and I noticed a lot of us fellow museums were doing that and calling each other. How are you doing an online museum? Or store? How are you doing that? So we figured it out along with everybody else. So yeah, that's another way, just going to our website and checking out the gift shop that way.
That's great. So let's talk about your website a minute. So I'll bet if anybody has any questions, they can go on your website and find out, what your hours are, where you're located,
Absolutely, yeah.
how to be a volunteer, how to make a financial donation.
Yes, that's also lovely.
Yes. Yeah. And so you're a 501c3 nonprofit. All the donations are tax deductible, and so I'm sure you depend on the generosity of donors.
We really do, yeah. In terms of our overall income budget and where does it come from, it's first and foremost individuals. And we're so grateful to all of them, whether it's a basic level membership or a patron level or some extra special large gift. It all helps, it all matters.
That is great. So Stacy, how long have you been with the museum, with the Wildling?
Oh gosh, it's 12 years, which I find, it's flown by. I'm not quite sure how that many years went by so fast, but yeah, this is actually my 12th year. So, and it's been fun. We have moved a couple times. So I started when we were still in Los Olivos.
Okay.
Yeah, so we've actually had 3 homes. We started in Los Olivos behind Maddie's Tavern. That was a historic house. And that was just our launching pad. And then we moved a couple blocks away near Corner House Coffee and had that location, which is where I started in 2010. And then about 2 years into that, we started doing a lot of long-range planning and vision statements and things. And we just felt that financially, to be truly sustainable, that wasn't quite the right setup for us. And so we were able to move into Solvang when we found an incredible space. And how it wasn't already a museum, I'm not sure. It was set up for retail originally, but we love it.
Oh, great. Well, good for you. And let's see. I think I also saw on your website or heard that you folks are in the middle of, or the beginning of, a capital campaign to retire your mortgage.
Yes, we are. Thank you for mentioning that. It's pretty exciting. We purchased the building in 2018 and on a 10-year loan. And so we're right about halfway through that 10-year loan, and we just really are ready to burn that mortgage. So one of our donors, there's 2 that have offered a challenge with significant funding, and so their slogan for us is debt-free in 23.
Oh,
so
that's good.
Yes, so that would be wonderful if we can manage to match their generosity and make that happen. Because the real gift is that it's those monthly interest payments and everything.
Right.
We're doing okay, but it would be really nice to not have those, and then to be able to do obviously more important things with the funds. Like hiring maybe an education person, or maybe someone to also help with development as well, so that we can really keep growing, because we have lots of ideas for the future. Ambitious, hopefully in just the right way, of so much more we want to be able to do for the community.
That's good. It sounds like you have quite a group, quite a great board and
we do.
Staff and volunteers.
We really do, and we all have a lot of fun. That's the nice thing. I mean, I can't think of a board meeting where we haven't had laughter at probably many points during a meeting. It's always a good group of people. And I think that might be an extension of our mission, right? What are we putting together? Art and nature.
Yeah.
Beautiful things
Doesn't
that
get
make
more
people
beautiful
feel
than
good.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's great. Well, Stacy, we have a couple more minutes left. Is there anything else that you'd like for the audience to know about the Wildling?
Oh, one other new exhibition thing that we're getting into. Yeah, let me talk about that.
Okay.
So If you don't know our building, we on the corner of it, we actually have a tower, a round tower.
Oh.
And so again, COVID, we have it, and there's big windows into this tower on the sidewalk on the street level. So the visibility into that space is really amazing. So a local artist, Holly Harmon, who's also on our board, turned that into an amazing exhibition installation space and something that could be viewed from the outside as well as being experienced from the inside. So she created this thing called the Nature of Clouds with clouds that she made that had LED lights that changed color and plants and kokedama balls. That,
oh my gosh.
I mean, it was incredible. It's still there, not for much longer, but it's still there. But it really gave us the idea of turning it into an installation space and reaching out to artists for ideas, for new things, so that every year it would become like a totally different kind of immersive kind of installation space. So we're very excited about that and starting to talk to artists for this year, and then we'll maybe turn it also into an artist in residency concept in the long run. So
that is a great idea.
I think it would be great. And I think it'd be great for the Valley too, specifically to have something like that, you know, up there.
I mean, it's really a very unusual museum. I kind of doubt that most communities have something that combines art and nature in such a specific way like that.
Yeah, I would say it's pretty rare. There's the National Museum of Wildlife Art up in Jackson Hole that's been around for a long time. It's very focused on wildlife, but we're a little broader than that because wildlife, yes, landscape, yes, and I appreciate that our board and our volunteers have let us really do such a wide variety of programs and seem very enthusiastic about that. It's an exciting future, I think.
Yes, an exciting future. Well, Stacy, thank you so much for being with us today.
Absolutely.
And for all your great work over there in Solvang and the San Ynez Valley.
Absolutely. Thank you so much.
Yes. And thank you for joining us on 805 Focus, and we'll see you next time.